Calm isn't the absence of storms. It's the strength to remain unshaken while everything around you trembles. Welcome to Stoic Valor, where every word is a step toward mastering yourself, because true power is not found in control over others, but in command over your own mind. When life feels chaotic, when people test your patience, and when uncertainty gnaws at your peace, the Stoics would say this is the perfect moment to practice calm. Not to escape the storm, but to learn to walk through it with grace. The Stoics believed that serenity isn't a gift you're born with, it's a discipline you forge daily. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This single sentence contains the seed of all Stoic wisdom. To stay calm in the face of adversity, you must understand where your power truly lies, in your response. Imagine this. Two people face the same problem. One reacts with anger, the other with understanding. The situation is identical, but their experiences are worlds apart. What changed? Their interpretation. The Stoics understood this centuries ago. They called it dichotomy of control, the distinction between what depends on us and what doesn't. Epictetus taught, some things are in our control and others are not. That's it. That's the line between peace and chaos. The first Stoic principle to stay calm is control what you can, accept what you can't. When you anchor your mind to what's within your power, your thoughts, your actions, your judgments, you stop being a victim of the world. You start being its observer. Every time you feel frustration rising, pause and ask, is this within my control? If not, let it go. Surrender is not weakness, it's wisdom. The second principle is perception shapes reality. Ryan Holiday in The Obstacle is the Way reminds us that there is no good or bad without us. There is only perception. This echoes Marcus Aurelius's insight. If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. Calmness, therefore, isn't found by escaping the world, but by interpreting it differently. When someone offends you, realize that their words cannot harm you. Only your judgment can. Third, embrace discomfort as training. Stoicism is not about comfort. It's about resilience. Seneca advised, we suffer more in imagination than in reality. Every challenge is an opportunity to fortify your spirit. Cold showers, fasting, silence, these are not punishments, but rehearsals for life's unpredictability. When you choose voluntary discomfort, you weaken the grip of fear. Calmness grows from preparation, not luck. The fourth Stoic principle is memento mori. Remember you will die. It sounds morbid, but it's deeply liberating. When you truly grasp the impermanence of life, trivial annoyances lose their power. A delayed flight, a rude comment, a lost opportunity, none of these deserve your inner turmoil. Death equalizes all. Marcus Aurelius often wrote about this truth, not to be morbid, but to remind himself to live with purpose. The thought of mortality doesn't paralyze a Stoic, it energizes him. It sharpens focus on what matters. The fifth principle is focus on virtue, not outcome. In a world obsessed with results, Stoicism returns us to essence, doing what's right for its own sake. You cannot control whether others appreciate your effort, whether luck favors you, or whether success comes swiftly. But you can control your integrity. Epictetus said, "The good man is invincible, for he cannot be harmed." Why? Because virtue, wisdom, courage, justice, temperance is its own reward. When you live by these virtues, calmness becomes your natural state, not because life is easy, but because you are unshaken by its chaos. The sixth principle is negative visualization, premeditatio malorum. The Stoics practiced imagining loss, failure, even death, not to dwell on misery, but to build gratitude and readiness. Seneca advised, "He robs present ills of their power who has perceived their coming beforehand." When you visualize hardship, you are never surprised by it. You meet it as an old acquaintance, not a stranger. This mental preparation is what allows calmness in crisis. And the seventh principle is, live in accordance with nature. To the Stoics, this meant aligning with reason, accepting life's unfolding as part of a greater order. When you fight reality, you exhaust yourself. When you flow with it, you find peace. Nature is change. Everything transforms, evolves, dies, and is reborn. To resist that is to fight against life itself. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it." Calmness arises when you stop resisting what is. Think of calm not as a reaction, but as a way of being. The Stoic doesn't deny emotion. He transcends it through understanding. He feels anger but does not act from it. He experiences loss but does not drown in it. He acknowledges pain but does not become it. Calmness is his armor, light yet unbreakable. In the modern world, where attention is scattered and outrage is currency, Stoicism becomes a rebellion. Every moment you choose patience over rage, reason over panic, gratitude over complaint, you rise above the noise. Robin Sharma once said, "Mastery begins with the mind." Calmness, then, is not a mood. It's mastery. So as we close this first section, remember, calmness is not found by seeking a quiet world. It's found by quieting your mind. You don't need the world to slow down. You just need to stop chasing it. Breathe, reflect, observe, control what's yours and let go of the rest. That's where calm begins. There is a moment, right before you lose your temper, when time slows down. Your chest tightens, your pulse quickens, and your mind begins to flood with judgment. That instant, that fragile, fleeting pause, is where Stoicism lives. It's the space between impulse and wisdom, between reaction and reason. To stay calm, you don't need a life free of stress. You need tools that allow you to remain centered within it. The Stoics didn't just theorize about peace. They practiced it daily through simple, powerful habits. These habits transformed ordinary moments into training grounds for the soul. Let's begin with the first daily practice, the morning reflection. When you wake up, before your phone, before your tasks, before the noise, pause. Marcus Aurelius began each day with reflection. He wrote, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love." Start your morning by remembering your mortality and your mission. Ask yourself, what can disturb my peace today? Visualize it. Prepare for it. If you expect that people will be rude, situations unfair, and life unpredictable, then when those things come, you will not be shocked. You will be ready. The second practice, the control exercise. Throughout your day, carry the dichotomy of control in your pocket like a compass. When a problem appears, mentally separate it into two categories: what depends on you and what doesn't. If it depends on you, act. If it doesn't, release it. Epictetus compared life to a game of dice. You can't control the roll, only how you play your turn. When traffic builds up, when someone insults you, when results don't come as expected, remind yourself, this is outside my control. My calm is not for sale. The third practice, the pause. Seneca wrote, "Anger, if not restrained, is frequently more harmful to us than the injury that provokes it." Before reacting, breathe. Count to 5 slowly. Observe your thoughts without becoming them. Ask, what would a wise person do now? It sounds simple, but this pause can save relationships, decisions, and peace of mind. Each time you practice it, your emotional muscle strengthens. Calm becomes instinct. The fourth practice, evening self-examination. At the end of each day, the Stoics would review their actions, not with guilt, but with honesty. Seneca advised, "When the light has been removed and my wife has fallen silent, I examine my entire day and go back over what I've done and said. Reflect. Did I let anger control me today? Did I waste energy on things beyond my control? Did I act with virtue?" Journaling each night reinforces awareness. It transforms experience into wisdom. The fifth practice, voluntary discomfort. Modern comfort breeds fragility. The Stoics intentionally stepped into discomfort to harden their spirit. Take cold showers, fast occasionally, walk without your phone, sleep on the floor once a month. Each act of chosen hardship whispers a reminder, I can endure. When you no longer fear discomfort, you become unshakable. Calm thrives where fear cannot. The sixth practice, meditation on mortality. Take a moment each day to remember that life is fleeting. Look at the stars, the trees, your loved ones, and realize that none of this is guaranteed tomorrow. Not as a dark thought, but as a call to live deeply. When you remember that time is slipping away, small irritations dissolve. Gratitude expands. The Stoics didn't meditate on death to feel sadness. They did it to feel alive. The seventh practice, living with intention. Every action, every word, every thought, do it as if it matters, because it does. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Do every act of your life as though it were the very last act of your life." This mindset transforms chaos into clarity. You begin to ask, is this worthy of my energy? Will this matter in 1 year? Am I acting from ego or virtue? Calmness is not about suppressing emotions. It's about elevating decisions. Let's bring these ideas to life with a few moments you know well. You wake up late. Traffic is heavy. A co-worker sends an unfair email blaming you for something you didn't do. You feel the fire rising. The temptation to respond sharply grows stronger. But you remember, is this within my control? You can't control their behavior, only your response. You breathe. You reply with clarity, not anger. The storm passes. That's Stoicism in action, the calm under pressure. Or imagine losing something dear, a job, a relationship, a dream. Pain fills your chest. The mind wants to fight reality. But the Stoic whispers, amor fati, love your fate. Not because everything is good, but because everything can be used for good. Every loss carries a lesson. Every ending makes space for new beginnings. You can't control the loss, but you can control its meaning. That choice defines your peace. Another day, a stranger insults you online. Instead of defending your ego, you smile. Epictetus said, if anyone tells you that a certain person speaks ill of you, do not make excuses about what is said, but answer, he was ignorant of my other faults. Else he would not have mentioned only these. True calm comes when you no longer need to defend who you are. Calmness is a discipline built moment by moment, decision by decision. You don't wake up stoic. You train Stoicism through awareness, reflection, and repetition. Midway through this journey, pause for a moment. If these words are resonating with you, if you can feel that quiet strength awakening inside you, don't forget to subscribe to Stoic Valor. Because here, we don't just reflect, we transform. Now back to your training. Another key Stoic exercise is negative visualization in practice. Every morning, imagine that your loved ones could be gone, that your plans could fail, that your comforts could vanish. It may sound grim, but it's a test of your mind's maturity. When you do this, gratitude blossoms. You start cherishing ordinary moments as extraordinary gifts. You no longer demand the world to be perfect. You appreciate it as it is. Next, practice perspective reframing. When something goes wrong, don't ask, "Why me?" Ask, "What can this teach me?" Every inconvenience hides an invitation to grow. Ryan Holiday wrote, "The obstacle is the way." That phrase is more than a mantra, it's a compass. The Stoic turns adversity into advantage, pain into purpose, chaos into calm. And one more, the virtue anchor. Choose one virtue, maybe patience, courage, or gratitude, and dedicate a week to practicing it consciously. When frustration appears, say to yourself, "This is my test of patience." When fear visits, whisper, "This is my test of courage." Life will always test you. The Stoic uses those tests as training. Modern psychology echoes what the Stoics taught 2,000 years ago. James Clear, in Atomic Habits, says, "You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems." Calmness is not a goal, it's a system of habits. Each pause, each reflection, each act of restraint builds the foundation of a tranquil mind. Calmness, in truth, is not found in meditation retreats or mountain silence. It's found in traffic jams, arguments, and setbacks. The Stoic battlefield is everyday life. When you master your reactions in the small moments, you are prepared for the great ones, because the world will not stop being chaotic. People will not stop being unpredictable, but you can stop being shaken. When you practice Stoicism consistently, something remarkable happens. You stop reacting and start responding. You stop being pulled by emotion and start guiding emotion with reason. You become, as Seneca described, a mind that is calm, not because it is dull, but because it is wise. Each moment of peace you create within yourself becomes a ripple that touches everything around you, your relationships, your work, your health, your presence. Calmness is contagious. The Stoic doesn't preach serenity, he radiates it. And when life throws you into the storm again, as it inevitably will, remember, the goal is not to escape it. The goal is to walk through it without losing yourself. Calm is not something you find, it's something you remember. There was a time when you were calm without even realizing it. As a child, you could watch the rain for hours without needing to be anywhere else. You could fail, cry, and still wake up the next day ready to try again. That serenity wasn't lost. It was buried under years of noise, expectation, and fear. The Stoic path isn't about learning something new. It's about remembering what you once knew, that peace begins within. Welcome back to yourself. The Stoics knew that the world will always shake, but the wise man builds his foundation on reason. Life will test your patience, break your plans, and pull you toward chaos. Yet calmness is not the absence of movement. It's balance in motion. Picture a flame. The winds may swirl around it, yet it continues to burn upright. That is the Stoic mind, calm, not because the storm stops, but because it has learned to dance with it. Marcus Aurelius faced wars, betrayal, illness, and loss. Yet in his private writings, the Meditations, we don't find despair. We find gratitude. We find strength. He wrote, "When you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, the people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly. But I will not be harmed by them." He knew peace is not passive. It's an act of defiance, the quiet rebellion of choosing serenity in a world that profits from your outrage. Seneca said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more. That is poor. Calmness thrives when desire fades. You begin to see that chasing control over the world is a losing game. The Stoic doesn't seek a perfect life, only a well-lived one. He doesn't demand that the universe bends to his will, only that he acts with wisdom, courage, and integrity, no matter how it unfolds. Epictetus, born a slave, crippled by his master, and yet among the most serene souls in history, taught, "No man is free who is not master of himself." He had no riches, no status, and yet he was untouchable. His calm was forged in pain, his peace in powerlessness. When the world stripped away everything external, he discovered the one thing that could never be taken: his mind. That is where calm begins, in mastery over your own thoughts. Calmness for the Stoic is an act of love, love for the present moment, love for reason, love for truth. The more you align with nature, the more you stop resisting what is. You begin to understand that pain is not your enemy, but your teacher. That loss is not punishment, but purification. That stillness is not emptiness, but fullness waiting to be felt. Modern life tries to sell calmness in bottles, screens, and vacations. But real calm cannot be bought. It is practiced. It is built in silence, one breath at a time, one decision at a time. You can start now. When you feel anger, pause. When you feel fear, breathe. When you feel lost, remember that everything passes. The Stoics would remind you, this too shall pass. Even the longest night ends with sunrise. Your calmness is your rebellion. It's your silent way of saying, you cannot control me. Not people, not events, not fear. Nothing outside of you deserves that power. Calmness is not indifference. It's strength. It's the decision to live by principle instead of impulse. Ask yourself, what if calmness became your default state? What if, no matter what happened, you could return to that inner stillness as easily as you return to breath? What if nothing could make you lose yourself again? It's possible, but only if you choose to train it. Every day, life offers you 1,000 chances to practice Stoicism. When someone cuts you off in traffic, when the internet slows down, when a friend disappoints you, when plans fall apart, these are not inconveniences, they're invitations. Each one asks, will you react or will you respond? Remember, the calm man is not lucky, he is trained. He has built a fortress in his mind, brick by brick, thought by thought. The world still roars outside, but inside there is silence. Seneca wrote, "To be calm is the highest achievement of the self. Not fame, not wealth, not admiration, but calm. The ability to face whatever comes without losing your center. Because when you control your inner world, the outer world loses its power. Now imagine yourself years from now, calm in conflict, composed in uncertainty, steady in storms. You're not the same person who once panicked over things you couldn't control. You've built something unshakable inside you. That is Stoic valor. That is strength in stillness. The truth is, life will always test your peace. You will lose people you love. You will face failure, injustice, misunderstanding. But the Stoic endures, not with coldness, but with clarity. He sees that emotions are natural, but he refuses to be ruled by them. He feels deeply, but acts wisely. If there's one lesson the Stoics would want you to remember, it's this: you are not your thoughts. You are the observer behind them. That's where calm lives, in the space between stimulus and response, between chaos and choice. The next time you find yourself overwhelmed, remember this moment. Remember these words: you don't have to fix everything. You don't have to win every argument. You just have to remain centered. That is victory. Ryan Holiday once said, "Calm is contagious," and he's right. When you embody calmness, others feel it. You become a living reminder that strength and softness can coexist. You become proof that peace is not passive, it's powerful. If these reflections have guided you, if you feel that fire of calmness awakening inside, help this message reach others. Share this video. Subscribe to Stoic Valor, because together we can build a world where strength isn't loud and wisdom doesn't need to shout. Every great change begins with a still mind. Be that stillness in a world addicted to noise. And as you walk forward today, remember the words of Marcus Aurelius. Be like the rock that the waves keep crashing over. It stands unmoved, and the raging of the sea falls still around it. Stay calm, stay centered, stay unshakable. This is Stoic Valor, and your calm is your power.